There are always newer and better smartphones out on the market. What, though, do you do if you kind of like the phone you have, but you know it has gotten more sluggish? Is there some way to get more life and more speed out of the phone that you've already got in your pocket? With us to talk about that, our tech guy, Rich Brooks from Flight New Media. Thanks for coming in. Good to have you.
Good to be back.
So I'm sure this is something that most people who have a phone have noticed after they've had it for a while. It's just not operating the way it used to. So what are the first steps that one might take to try to give things a little juice?
Sure, and it pains me to ask you this, but have you tried shutting it off and turning it on again?
I know. Actually, I'm not sure that I think about that.
Right, so that's probably the first thing you should do. And I'm not just talking about turning it on and off. We're talking about a hard reboot. And both on Android phones and iPhones, it's a little different, but usually it's finding two buttons, holding them down until the screen says, do you want to restart or do you want to shut down? Do that. What that'll do is it'll reorganize the storage space in the phone, giving it a little bit more room to perform. And if you do have a phone with storage issues, maybe it was a less expensive phone or it's an older model, another thing you can do to free up some of that memory is to go into, on Android, it's settings, storage, and then free up space, and you just click that up. And then on the iPhones, what you can do is go into settings, and there's offload unused apps. So we all have those apps on our phone that we never seem to use anymore. This will just take them off our phone, freeing up space, keeping the data there so when we want to use them again, if we ever do, they'll be ready.
How about the software? That would seem like a logical place to start. Are there things you can do to address the software with the idea of speeding up the phone?
That's a great question, Rob, with a thorny answer. So every single website out there that tells you to speed up your phone always says, oh, make sure it's updated. And in general, there's a lot of good reasons to keep your phone updated, but if it's only for the speed, sometimes that can backfire. Sometimes those updates, especially for an older phone, are so big that they actually have the reverse intention. So all of a sudden, it actually slows your phone down. It still could be a good idea. I would just recommend using some of these other tips we're going to talk through today first, and then coming back to that later.
Well, what else is there that we, the users, have control over that may be slowing our phones down?
So our phones are great at multitasking, which makes them very unlike me, because I can't do that at all. But the more we ask of it, the slower everything becomes. So for example, one thing that it's really good at is our phones are constantly checking on information for us, right? They're checking to see if we have emails. They're checking to see if there's messages. They're getting us the latest scores on the Bruins and the Celtics now that they're in the playoffs. But each one of those tiny little asks, they start to add up and they really slow things down. So you can go into your settings and actually shut off either globally, like no background data. So only when the app is active will it get new data. And if that's a little bit aggressive for you, you can also go in and shut down individual apps. And likewise, same thing, our phones and a lot of the apps on our phone are always tracking our movement. And that can also start to slow down the speed too. So now, some apps need to, like Google Maps or Uber. They need to be tracking us when we're using them or even when we've got them in the background. But other apps like McDonald's or that terrible mobile game that you downloaded because you were bored, that for some reason wants to track our every movement, those you can get rid of as well.
Let them go. Other tips or tricks, suggestions for ways to speed things up?
Sure, we all enjoy the animations when we're flipping through screens or launching apps, but those things can slow down your phone, so you can get rid of the animations, just shut them off in settings. And you can also go through your apps and get rid of the ones that you're not using. And consider using like both Apple and Google offer cloud support, so you can take a lot of your photos and music and everything else and get them off your phone so your phone will speed up much more quickly. And if you do all these things, Rob, and your phone is still sluggish, you can go with what I'd consider to be the nuclear option, which is reset to factory settings. And this will literally bring your phone back to day one when you first bought it. It will not repair a cracked screen, so you know that you're on your own. And then you can, what you need to do is back up your phone first. Then you can move over just the apps and just the data you want. But what you don't want to do is take all the garbage you just got rid of and move it all back onto your phone, because you'll be right back in square one.
All right. Really good suggestions, as always. Rich Brooks from Flight New Media. Thank you, Rich.
Always a pleasure.
If you'd like to see that full list of tips from Rich, just head to the 207 section of our website or app and stay with us, because we're going to be back right after this.